What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It is the 10th day of May today. We have about 20 hours, 52 minutes left in the day here. Brand new day, brand new start. We did close yesterday a little bit red. While we bounced from the area that I thought we would bounce from, and we came up a little bit, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to turn the day green. Even that little bit of red was enough to provide this very significant look of a rejection at the 60 here. So my expected outcome here would be, since we have gotten overbought, substantially overbought, up to the 82, we've come down, we rejected the overbought zone, we bounced off the 40, we rejected the 60. My assumption would be, at the very least here, we go to the 50, if not potentially the 40, if not potentially even the oversold area. And if we do get to the oversold area, we likely will see prices that are below this low. Now, I don't expect that we will see prices below this low just because of yesterday's red day, but let's be honest, the events that transpired, as insignificant as they might be, 2.5% to the downside is enough to up the likelihood that we do go below this low. So in all fairness, we need to address that 1.43 cent target area at the 0.5, right? 1.436 cents. This could be ultimately where we go. Now, my assumption is Bitcoin and the rest of crypto might cool off over the weekend. Maybe not every crypto, but a good bit of them might cool off over the weekend. There's going to be some coins that take off and pump because it is the weekend. It's low liquidity time. It'll be easier for them to move. But my assumption would be, just looking at this rejection off the 60, at least it seems like a rejection. I would doubt that we pump today. I would think that we do continue to go lower, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe even on Monday, and we find support at the 50. Maybe today we're already at the 50. Tomorrow we're at the 40, and then we move back up. If we see some kind of dramatic behavior like that, I would think that we're at about 1.67 cents, 1.6 cents, but probably, again, not below this low. It's very possible. It is absolutely very possible that the RSI goes down to the oversold zone, and if that happens, that 1.4 cents area will be the target. But not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I'm not really expecting that. This is enough. Let's see what we're going to do, because this might be enough for me to sell and wait to get in at a lower position with my XCN trade. Yeah, with what we're doing, I would expect that we drop. Let's see if this is low enough. If it's not more than 10%, I'm not going to trade it. So here we are, still above the 382. It's fine on the fibs. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to trade this one. If you want to, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, throw a bone a little bit. Here it is at 1.83 cents. It wouldn't surprise me if we went below 1.7 cents, or at least around there, maybe over the weekend, or even just to start off the new week. We could do that. Maybe at the absolute lowest, maybe we see something that's greater than a 10% drop. But at this point, for me, if it's not greater than a 10% drop, I don't care, because that's not, even at 10% or more, it's barely worth it. But the amount of growth that we have coming next week and over the coming weeks, it just far eclipses, it eclipses any kind of downside maneuver that we could have here. Again, right now, the likelihood that we go to 1.43 cents or thereabouts, it's higher now than it was yesterday because of yesterday's close. But that doesn't mean that we're necessarily going to go there. It's very possible that we could, but I'm not going to sell my OnyxCoin, my tradable positions in OnyxCoin. Again, I have tradable positions, and then I have long-term positions that I'm not selling at all, that I don't mess with, right? The majority of it doesn't get messed with. Just a small bit gets played with. I just have a hard time seeing OnyxCoin drop 20% whenever I don't even see Bitcoin dropping that significantly, right? Like 5%, maybe. Probably not even that, you know what I mean? So something of a higher low would be expected. I think that would just be another signal right here. To me, what happened over the past few days is a clear signal that we are ready to go higher, right? We saw more volume over those 2 days than we saw really since, April 25th and before then, right? That was some of the most volume we saw on this move up here. My expectation would be that this is a signal that we are ready to break out and go higher out of this bull flag. The next thing to kind of signal this would be confirming it by giving it a higher low. So I think that's exactly what we'll do, is we'll form a higher low. We'll probably find support right at the same areas that we found support before, if not a little lower or a little higher. But that's what I think we've got in store for us over the coming days. Let's see if that validates on the if we can validate that on the shorter term time frames. Looking at the 1 hour RSI, looks like it's in a downtrend to me. It looks like it's pointed downwards, and it looks like it's about to start moving down. So again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. It's not a whole lot, but if you want to milk this thing for a little bit, you know, if 5% or more is good enough for you, I think that it, you know, it probably works out, and I feel pretty damn confident on that. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Do whatever you want. I feel pretty confident that we'll see about an 8% drop or so from the current price of 1.83 cents. It's probably going to be a very tradable event, but I'm not going to trade it myself. 1 hour time frame, because if I'm wrong, we just rip through the roof. Well, I'm glad that I'm wrong at that point, right? But if we keep doing this, I would expect we get oversold. This would put us like on Sunday, if we move down at this kind of pace here, maybe we round out, and then coming up on Monday, Tuesday, we start to move up or something like that. So weekend dump seems about right on the 1 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame, yes, also in agreement there. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. You do have a little bit of an uptrend here. Still, you're in that. You did get overbought. Oftentimes your uptrends end once you get overbought, but you can get overbought again. It doesn't, you know, it's not so much that now it has to end. It's just now you're getting toward the end of it, but you can get overbought again. The 1 hour looks like it wants to go down, so I'm assuming you'll break out of this. If you do, that'll be enough reason to believe that you're consolidating probably for at least 2 days, if not 3 or 4 days. So again, you think about the 1 hour, you should be thinking in terms of like 1 day to 2 days. You think about the 4 hour time frame, you should be thinking in terms of like 3 days to 5 days, you know, and then daily time frame is weeks, weekly time frame is months. You feel me? Like, it's just because it says weekly doesn't mean that this is a weekly expectation that next week or the following week it'll be. Weekly time frames are better gauges of like month to month stuff. Monthly time frames are better gauges of year to year stuff. The 4 hour time frame is good for like the coming days, as is the 1 hour. And both of those, the 4 hour looks bullish right now. I'll be honest, it really does look bullish. But with the 1 hour in combination here, being that it's the weekend, being that we didn't get the bullish recovery that we were looking for on the daily aspect, and we're rejecting the 60, and we've hit the overbought zone already in this uptrend, I think that we're about to break out. We're probably about to break out and go to lower prices. That's the expectation. So yeah, a little bit lower. That's okay. A little bit lower. Breaking out of the 4 hour RSI, not out of any price structure. Eventually, OnyxCoin, eventually. One of these days, man. It's going to happen, I swear. Oh, you know what? I think I've looked at this once too. I got distracted right here, but I'm just going to say I've seen this before. We should talk about this more, because this is actually very validating to the idea that this is the low and that you won't go below there. Rejecting your golden ratio, finding support at your 382, and then moving up, it's very common behavior to do. So actually, I'm very confident that we don't go below that low, but we could. You never know. What was it that I got distracted from that I was going to say? What was it? Oh, yeah, going higher. When we are moving higher, the expectation would be that we move up to something of around like 4.9 cents, maybe to like 5.5 cents, something in this area, right? The measured move of the bull flag itself, I think, puts us right at 5.2 cents from a low to a high. Let's just see. It would put us right there at about 5.3, 5.4 cents. So that's the expectation. We will see this. Just maybe not over the next couple of days, perhaps by the end of next week, if not the following week. I would expect by the end of the month that we're here. In fact, by the end of the month, I would expect that we're even higher than that. It's coming. We're just loading. So more time is not a bad thing. More opportunities to buy is not a bad thing. Just got to have patience, okay? I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, leave a thumbs up, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.